Hello, my name's Dennis Slattery from EDMworks. Have you got your wedding invitation? Governance is getting married to privacy. Privacy regulations around the world are being transformed. They need to be taken much more seriously, and one of the key things is they will be totally dependent upon data governance for their effective implementation. So it's very, very important that privacy has a very close and effective relationship with governance related functions. Now, as it says, governance has history. For the last 5 years, governance has been strongly cohabiting with risk, primarily with risk, to implement effective risk management and to prove that effective risk management has been implemented around the organisation, mainly as a result of the financial crash in 2007-2008. Now, lots of lessons have been learned out of that. Some of them are related to what's good practice for data governance. The other key one is about the need to communicate and collaborate across the organisation. Data is at the heart of the business. It doesn't work in silos, it works across the business, and we have to connect up how different bits of data are used around the business. So we need good data governance for that, and privacy is no exception. And that brings us to one of the key groups that should be involved, IT. Now, IT will have a major task under privacy regulations, which is to upgrade them and make sure that privacy by design and default, and make sure that consent management is implemented effectively and fully. And failure to do that will lead to huge fines. Well, without doubt, the biggest fines are in the area of failure to manage consent and make sure that we use people's data correctly. So there will be a big task for IT to migrate an awful lot of systems, to upgrade an awful lot of systems, to implement new consent technology across those. So IT have to be involved, and it's very important given the timescales that IT are involved now in the planning stages. Now, what about the wider family? Now, one of the lessons we learned out of previous governance implementations or regulatory implementations is we need to involve a lot of different organisations. We must not work in silos. We must expand beyond that. So we need to make sure that within our own organisation we have the right people at the table in order to plan and make sure that we carry out the right tasks. But privacy regulations extend beyond our organisation. We subcontract data to a lot of different firms around the world, and now we have to embrace them and pull them into our privacy projects to make sure that they manage their data. They manage personal data that we are in control of. They manage it to the standards that we actually need it to be managed to. So it is crucial that we have a wider family involved within this wedding that we are talking about. How about audit? Audit are always at the back of the church looking at what else is going on. Now, audit need to step up. A lot of the regulatory work that is coming down the path, audit have a self-regulatory function, but also they need to step up and manage at an enterprise level, because again, data is at the heart of the organisation, so it's no good looking at individual siloed projects about how did such and such work, and therefore putting an audit report together saying there are issues there. We need to be more proactive and get audit involved at the front-end design, the front-end architectural processes, where they are agreeing overall classifications, overall taxonomies for personal data, how you're going to map and manage personal data across the organisation. And audit need to be involved in that and sign that off, so that as that core set of classifications permeates through all the different legacy systems, there is an enterprise-wide approach to how that's going to be implemented, and audit can then really add value by then showing that across the whole of the organisation there is a consistency about how things are actually being done. And finally, as with all weddings, who's at the top table? That's really what it comes down to. Well, privacy is a board level agenda, so we have to have a board level executive or somebody who reports to the board driving this whole privacy implementation process. So clearly, as well as that person, we need the data protection officer, we need legal counsel who are heavily involved in the creation of privacy policies and making sure they're implemented. We need governance, risk and compliance people, without doubt. They are absolutely crucial to making sure that the organisation is governed and the correct controls are in place. We need IT, we need data management, because those are the two key groups that are going to be responsible for making sure that the data is right and the data is correctly protected. We need change. We need change management, because people who are implementing big change programs, they will be the people who are going to be implementing the major transformations to these legacy systems or new product developments. Of course, that leads to we need product people, because anybody who's implementing this product must make sure privacy by design and default is built into it. HR have to be at the core. Employee data is part of it, so it's captured under all the privacy regulations, so it's crucial that they are, but they will also be involved in the creation of or enhancement of code of conduct for all sorts of different departments around the organisation. And then finally, and obviously, any customer-facing function. Anybody involved at all in processing customer data, personal data, needs to be involved in this. So, this is one of a number of videos. Please subscribe to this video channel. You can do that you can do that below, and also underneath you will find a link to the full article that describes much more detail about this marriage and goes into much greater explanation about precisely the roles of all the different parties involved. Thank you very much.